Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Apocalypse Phoenix with another video. How's everybody doing? How was your 4th of July? Were y'all out there setting off them fireworks like here in Fresno? The whole city was lit up, man. It was crazy. Um, yeah, there's no shortage of Americans loving and celebrating the 4th of July for all of you no kings wannabes don't even know what you're talking about. But anyways, we're going to be getting into a couple of these videos, and we're going to start with the delusion of women and how society plays into it, bro. Like, they have women out here knowing that they're already in debt, school debt, credit card debt, and now they're they're manipulating the women into buying homes now, these hundreds of thousands of dollars. And we already know, like, you guys aren't the best with money. Like, most people aren't good with money. But going off of emotions, like, that's how you handle your finances, it's going to always be an up and down roller coaster ride. It's not going to go well. But here we go, the mass propaganda that they have for women to get into hundreds of $1,000s into debt, lose their homes, all this crap, but they don't care. They just want your money and they want you in debt. So let's get into this propaganda video. This is so crazy. Because number one, you never saw this kind of, again, propaganda or manipulation towards men. It was like, hey man, go buy a house for yourself, bro. Like, never. 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010. It was never, hey man, go buy yourself a house. It was like, once you have a family, hey, families buy a house. Families buy a house. But again, they know women out there just, we're independent. I got my money. Not very good at handling it, but they want you guys in debt. That's why they want you to go get a career so then you can go get into debt and more debt and more debt. And they own you instead of having a loving family and belonging to your husband. Oh, it's so bad. I'm not his property. But you'll be a number in a corporation, that can just be like, hey, you're not doing up to par. Get the hell out. We'll get somebody else that'll do your job. Like, and I know a lot of marriages have become like that. They're like, I'm not happy. Bye. Divorce number 4, number 5, number 6. It's crazy. But it all starts again with the mass propaganda, the mass manipulation by media. And we all know who's behind the media stuff. All right, man. Let's. Nonsense.
It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bad
Mm-hmm.
idea.
You have no structure. They're not talking about savings or if you have good credit score or anything like that. It's like, I could buy a house.
This is perfect.
Are you sure you're ready to buy a house, Mika?
We just want the.
Yeah, listen to your dad, but of course, I'm not going to listen to your dad. He's asking you that for a reason. Why do you look like you're about to be 30. Why do you want to buy a whole ass house and you have no kids, no husband? Like, what is it for? Oh, so I have equity and generational wealth. But again, if you don't have any kids, who are you passing this wealth on to? But here you go. Again, you never saw any commercials for men. Buy yourself a house. I mean, if they did, we would have been buying houses from back in the day for ourselves. We wouldn't have just waited for a family. We would have been like, hey, I got all this stuff. I can do it. But we were always like, hey, I'm going to buy a house so I have a family. Like, that's the reason why you buy a house, for your family. So you can grow into it. You have children and those multiple bedrooms, guess what? They're for the kids. Whoa, whoa. Not for your roommates, not to rent out so you can get some supplemental income. Those extra rooms are supposed to be for your kids so your family can grow into it. You can grow into the house by having a family. But no, just buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house for yourself. Guess who's doing all that yard work? Or if you're not going to do the yard work, now you're paying somebody to do the yard work. Is it easy? Is it easier? Is it financially easier? Is it physically easier for you? No. It's a lot more work. But again, you're not thinking about the whole picture. It's just like, oh, I could tell people I own a house. I can say I own a house. Like, I bought a house last year, and the mortgage is higher than my rent. Duh. So now I'm kind of like house poor. I also got ripped off by somebody that I thought was a friend, so that made it harder. And so it's like, hey, I have to go work to earn more money. And that's how you get out of debt. That's how you get out of those problems. You have to work more to pay off those bills. So if you're buying a house, it's not going to be the same. You're not going to be able to have all those trips. You're not going to be able to go out to eat as much. You're going to have to put a lot of money into your house. And you don't want to change your lifestyle. You love your lifestyle. Buying a house will severely hinder your lifestyle because you're going to have to put a lot of damn money into your house. You know, I had a leak just the day before yesterday. Had a small little leak in my sprinkler system. It's this little leak. You know, I had a hard Sunday. I'm like, I'm going to get to that in the morning. Guess what I wake up to in the morning? My backyard is flooded. I have to deal with that shit. I had to go to the hardware store. You know, I had to measure out the pipes. I had to go tell them, hey, this is what I want to do. I don't really know much about plumbing. I think I just want to cap these off. You know, I know how to cap something. You know, luckily the guy's like, yeah, you got to cut it off and cap it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't think about how I was getting it off. I thought I was going to have to screw it off. But you're talking about water, sprinkler systems. A lot of things are glued together and you're not getting them off. So, yeah, I have to cut through the pipe, get the glue on there, put it on there, set something heavy on it, you know, so the glue can set. And then again, luckily he said something because I'm not a plumber. He's like, make sure you open up your lines before you turn the water back on or you're going to pop these damn caps off that you just spent money and hours waiting to set. So again, glad he said that. I'm like, all right, he said something about the valves. Make sure you prime the valves. So I went and turned on my kitchen sink and I turned on the bathroom in my first bathroom. And then I went and turned on the water. And so that allows air, the air that gets trapped in there and stuff like that, to get out of there. And like I said, not pop off those things that I just put on. So boom, 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 boom. But again, all the stuff is on you when you own your house. It's not just like Fantasy World, and they just keep getting you at Fantasy World. Here's the dream. Here's the glitter and gold. And you don't ever get into that deeper level of thinking about what's going to really go into this. Am I looking at the forest or am I looking at the tree? Because you have to look at both. You have to look at the tree and you have to look at the forest. And you have to look at the forest for the forest and then look down into the tree. You can't just be like, I'm going to get me a new house. Ha life is awesome. There's consequences to your actions, bro.
Sweet honey.
I don't know anyone that owns a house. Are you sure?
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason it's expensive. It's like, why would you be doing that by yourself if you don't have the money? Now, for a man, it's worth it for us to get a house because, again, that's going to attract women. Like, oh, okay, this guy can buy a house. And I want a family, so I have a house. I now get a girlfriend that now becomes my wife. And then we have children. And the rooms in the house get occupied by our children. Oh, wow. What a great freaking concept that is, right? Man, the studio, bro. But again, they don't think any deeper than I'm a boss. That's about as deep as their thinking goes.
I got this. You got this. Trendsetter.
Yeah, now you're just going to be in a big-ass house instead of an apartment by yourself with your cats. And you have to clean all that crap. Like, I have hardwood floors about every other day. You have to vacuum and clean. I have a couple of throw carpets, you know. And, yeah, every other day you have to clean these things. Because it's a whole house. It's different things. Different things are going on than an apartment. But, hey, she got her casita. You know, she's going to going into debt, getting drunk off wine. Where's my box wine at? Give me the box. Give me the box wine. All right, now we got this genius right here. Again with the manipulation, again with the lies, again with the making men look bad, and the women are the geniuses. Even though it's like, is it really smart to leave somebody you've been with for years just because they don't want to do something yet, and they probably have good reasons. There's great reasons, I'm sure, to why her boyfriend didn't want to buy a house yet. And then her genius self is be like, well, I'm gonna break up with them, and then I'm gonna go buy a house by myself. Awesome, awesome. Put on all the responsibility. Put it on yourself. Oh, genius, genius. Instead of like actually thinking it out, like, hey, maybe he has a good reason why he doesn't want to buy a house yet. The rates are too high. You guys don't have your credit or savings yet. Like, nothing is said of why this person doesn't want to buy the house yet. It's just like, he didn't want to buy a house. I did. And so I left him and I bought the house by myself. You idiot. Like, that is the dumbest crap I've ever heard of. Let me get rid of the person that I loved and take on all the responsibility by myself. You could have talked to him and asked him, like, hey, he could have been like, hey, babe, we need to save $10,000 more before we buy a house because of the interest rates, because of I want to buy down points so that we have a smaller mortgage, you know. But no, they're not going to get into it, again, because there's no deeper thinking other than the surface level. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. I own my house. Until you don't. Until you're thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and you're getting foreclosed by the bank, and then you need to move it back in with your parents or become a roommate with your friend. Then you're going to be like, why did I buy the house? Like, think deeper than the manipulation that they're throwing in front of you. Think deeper than the glitter and gold that you just are blinded by. You gotta go, hold on. I'm getting into that mindset again where it's like things are just, I'm in fantasy land. Let me bring it back to reality. Mortgage is higher than rent. You have to pay this stuff. You can't just call somebody when something breaks and be like, hey, come out and fix this, handyman. Because then you have to pay for that. If you're calling somebody, the handyman, the electrician, the plumber, it's not like in your apartments where it gets paid for. You have to pay for it. And the least that I've heard, I've had an electrician come out, I've had a plumber come out, I've had somebody come out for the HVAC, and it was all $65, $80, $75. That's just for them to come out. Just be like, hey, you got a problem. It's like, I know I have a problem. That's why I called you, bro. But you're paying at least minimum $65 for them just to come out. Then it's like, oh, I got to do this and that. Yeah, it's going to be about 100 something, 200 something, which is why I'm doing this shit by myself. You know what I'm saying? This is why I have to learn how to become a plumber and an HVAC guy and a gardener and a landscaper and everything, because it gets expensive if you're just calling up whoever just because every time you got a problem. No, you have to become a problem solver. But let's get into the video. These things piss me off, man, because it's like, it's causing so much strife, stress, division among people. And these women aren't thinking about the long term. Like, you're going to be in a house for 30, 40, 50, 60 years by yourself. No husband, no kids. You and your animals, you and your movies, you and your binging, you and your wine, you and your girlfriends. But many a night will be spent alone because you just broke up with your boyfriend so you could buy a house by yourself. Again, idiot.
So I was dating this guy, Chris, for years. I wanted to buy a house. Chris didn't. Then I realized I don't need to be with someone to buy a house.
Yeah, why do I want a family in my house? Stupid. Ew, stinky family. Ew, yeah. These people, man, they're so smug, so cocky, so ridiculous. It's freaking ridiculous, man, to listen to this stuff. And it's ridiculous knowing that people believe this en masse. En masse, they believe this is true.
On my own.
See, look, she's just in her kitchen by like, I don't know what the hell to do myself. Like, let me get more wine. You know, that's all that they have in store for these people. And they don't care. They do not care that they're going to have to, like, suffer by themselves. They know they can control you. They know that it's going to break up families. It's going to be harder for you to accept a man and get a family because you own your own house and all this crap. And now that you own a house, the guy that you date must own his own house. He must have actually 2 properties because you have 1. Because, again, any guy that you want has to be better than you. So if you have a house, you want him to have 2 houses. You know, even though you're like going under, you're foreclosing, you're going to be like, I'm not dating a guy without 2 houses. Like I said, the manipulation is crazy. The brainwashing, the propaganda is insane, and women are just eating it up. But so are a lot of you guys, man. Because this is all you guys, all they do is watch TV, movies, they listen to the radio, they listen to the media. They get all free. It's all free entertainment. And we know nothing is for free. The more stuff you get for free, the more propaganda is like just kneaded into it. Just it's all throughout the dough. There's no separating it. When it's free, it's full of propaganda. Trust and believe that. So this is this video here we're gonna be getting into is I just noticed a trend. I see a trend that's coming. There wasn't too many YouTube videos on it. Of course, you're not gonna find, you know, things like this on YouTube. They'll allow women in thongs to do yoga and children can watch it, but they will ghost, you know, shadow ban videos that want to help out men. They will shadow ban videos that are talking, you know, that are talking the truth about women, but it's not just putting them in the best light. They'll shadow ban those videos. So it was hard to find even this video here, but a trend I see coming, or it's already happening, but I want to highlight it, is the women that are making their sons kind of like their boyfriends. They're not literally making them their boyfriend, but they treat them like their boyfriend. You know, they go on trips together. They have them going everywhere with them, and you know, they're like calling them papa or daddy and things like that, making them like if they're the man of the house while they're still a kid. You know, they spoil them, but then they will reprimand them and emasculate them when the son doesn't do exactly what the mom wants. Then she'll get mad at them, emasculate them, put them down, treat them very badly. But then again, on the flip side, then they'll treat them like a king if they do what they want. And so they're turning their sons into simps, the very men they don't like. And then they're sending them out in the world, telling them, this is how you get a girl, son. And then the guys are acting like simps. And then the women are like, why are these guys like girls? You know, they cry all the time. They're not tough. They don't know how to control their emotions. And it's because they're raised by their mom. They were raised to be a very soft man. They had no masculine presence in their life. I have to do something about that. And so, you know, the rise of the boyfriend son is coming, but there's an even more insidious thing to this part. And this is what I call the free use child. So I've seen it before. You'll see a single mom, she'll meet a guy, and like that same day, the next day, they'll be like, hey, watch my kids while I go to work, or I'm gonna go do this, stay here with these kids, or blah, 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 blah. And they're already like letting the guy just stay at their house, spend time with the kids, and they don't even really know this person. And this is where I'm seeing like a even more insidious trend coming up, even worse than like I said, the boyfriend son. It's again, just the free use kids. So women are going to be so lonely. They're going to be so in need of male attention. Because by 2030, 50% of women are going to be childless at 30. Half of all women are going to be childless. So a big portion of that group isn't going to have any kids. Well, some of them women are going to have some kids, one or two or something like that. And what they're going to do is they're going to get a guy that they know is kind of weird, kind of off, kind of creepy. But the woman is going to want that validation from a man so much that they'll still invite this man into their house to be a part of their life, knowing he's a creep, knowing he probably might do something to their kids, but they're going to be like okay with it so that they get the man. Do you get what I'm saying? They're going to know something's wrong with this man, with this person. And they're still going to invite them into their house so that just because they got attention, so they can have attention, so they can have someone to hug, so that they can have someone to be like, look, this is my man. But then they will leave that man there with their kids for free use, basically. That's what I'm saying. They know this person will be abusing their kids, and they're going to be okay with it just so they can get a relationship out of it. That's how twisted a lot of these women are going to be in the future. And I'm calling it out now. A lot of times, again, pattern recognition, and then things that just kind of like snap. And I always just say it's from the Holy Spirit, because where do I get this from? Who am I? I'm nobody or nothing special to get these certain kind of information that just pops in my head. And it could do to a lot of what I'm seeing. And so things in the back end get kind of put together. But I really think, the Holy Spirit has a lot to do with it. But this is a trend, and I'm sure it's not going to be in the mainstream, but there's going to be enough of it going on that it's going to be a problem in like 10 to 20 years. People are going to start calling it out. Things like, what the hell's going on? Why are women doing this? And it's all because they're so in need again of some kind of attention and relationship, of validation, of intimacy, that they will literally give up their kids for it. It's crazy. And that's where I'm coming out from with this video. But this is talking about the thing that's going on now, which is the boyfriend's son, the weirdness that's going on.
There's nothing as powerful as a mother's love, except maybe steel-reinforced concrete. But what happens when that love is twisted into something different? Something much darker. Boy moms. Not to be confused with women who happen to have male children, are mothers who for some reason have decided to make the gender of their child their entire personality. This obsessive behavior towards their sons inhibits good parenting at best, and dips its toes into the Freudian at worst, becoming especially alarming when these women also have daughters who suffer because of this extreme favoritism. While this mother and son...
And it's weird. It doesn't happen with men. You don't see the daughters being super, super close with their fathers, to the point where it's like, is that your like girlfriend or something? That it's sick. It is sick. And as soon as you switch the dynamics, you see how sick it is. But because it's happening with women, nobody's gonna say anything. Can't do no wrong.
Dynamic is centuries old. The internet has a beautiful way of allowing weirdos to publicly incriminate themselves, pulling up the logs of their lives to reveal all the delicious, creepy crap.
You still recording? I have it 12 to 2.
Skittering underneath to millions.
Ooh.
And as usual, I invite you to grab a bag of popcorn, drench it in butter, and watch the train wreck with me.
You'll be his first kiss, his first love. He's your little boy.
He's your little boy. He did how he said that. I I thought this video would be a great place to start because it highlights a particular fixation
You know,
that
and
these
that's-
toxic boy moms have.
That's the beginning when they're babies, and so it's like, hey, that's kind of understandable,
of being
you know.
their son's first love and using language that uncomfortably parallels romantic relationships.
Mhm.
The weirdness becomes super obvious once you realize these women would never mention being their daughter's first kiss or their daughter's first love. So, what's the difference? Well, according to
Exactly. Nobody wants to say it when it's the woman and the son, because again, woman could do no wrong. But as soon as you flip it with the daughter and father, you see how sick it is. But it is that sick with the mother and son. Like, there's no way around it. It's just as sick, and you have to see it as that.
the comment section underneath this video, having a son is completely different. A transcendental experience that girl birthers simply could never understand, and boy
Girl
moms
birthers.
refuse to explain.
Being a boy mom is the best feeling. It's truly falling
Really?
in love.
Really?
Ew. I mean, interesting.
And they're doing it because they don't receive the validation or the intimacy from a real man because of a lot of reasons. Maybe a lot of reasons. A lot of the time it's being because they're insufferable. So that's why no man wants to be with them. So they'll just fall in love with their kid, with their son, because they can't get that real love.
Perspective.
There's just something different about raising a boy heart. Can't explain.
No, please do explain. What's so different about it? I and the local authorities are incredibly curious. He's her last true love,
Yeah.
which makes the dad what? The matchmaker?
Just
the
the
ex?
chopped
Last
bacon,
true
chopped
love?
gravy, you know.
What are we talking about?
I have a little boy, and I always thought I wanted girls, but having a baby boy? It's something else.
No, it actually literally isn't. There's nothing special about a baby boy.
I mean, she doesn't have kids, so she doesn't know what she's talking about. It is special having a child. And it is special and different whether you have a daughter or whether you have a son, whether you're a father that has a daughter, father that has a son, mother that has a daughter, mother that has a son. It is different. I'm not going to lie and say that it's not. But yeah, the romanticizing of it, it's weird, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, they're talking about their child like if it's their lover. Weird.
Is a baby girl. It's a baby.
It's a
Collection
baby.
of fat rolls missing its kneecaps. A default starter human that hasn't even allocated its skill points yet. You haven't even had a girl, so how do you know having a boy?
And I haven't watched this video. This is the first time watching this video, so I am taking a chance on it. I took a big chance on it because a lot of times when it's a video by a woman and they're talking about woman subjects, they'll twist it and be like, "It's actually the guy's fault." But so this is my first time watching it, but she's mainly on point with a lot of this stuff. So if she gets it, you can get it.
It's different. I'm gonna have an aneurysm unless we have a sponsor break right now. But before we continue, I'd like to take a second to talk about today's sponsor, Air Up. Using Senpai season approaches your TikTok. This one's got layers like lasagna. Let's dig in. First off, versions of this cringy trend have been done by parents of both genders, so I'm not going to be as harsh, but I also have to take off points for creativity. There are so many assumptions being made here. First off, that it's the wife's duty by default to do the cooking. These mothers are training their sons to be judgmental food critics to make sure their spouses can handle the daily responsibility of feeding them as well as mommy did. Maybe your future daughter-in-law can't boil water, but is a wonderful, loving partner. Maybe your son wants to do the cooking, but there's no room for that within these rigid, traditional standards for wives.
I'm okay with
Others like
tradition.
this
So let's
devote
see.
their lives to setting the bar out of reach
Let's see. I told you they have a way of flipping things.
so their sons stay attached to them. There's also the assumption that relying on pre-prepared food is somehow a horrible personal failure for a woman, as if women can't get tired sometimes and just throw something in the microwave. Like, come on, do you think your precious prince is too good for frozen pizza?
So you hot pocket daughters.
Daughter?
Well, yeah, that is, nobody should be eating Hot Pockets on a regular basis. Why don't you know how to cook at least a few meals? There's only 7 days in the week. I at least have 7 meals. You can mix it up, mix and match. But yeah, a lot of people just rely on Hot Pockets, chicken nuggies, corn dogs, like food that is horrible. I've seen videos of women frying McDonald's cheeseburgers and they throw egg on it and they're like, "Here's my husband's dinner." No, that's not cooking. So I don't mind learning how to cook. But again, like I said, see how sometimes they just twist things. There's nothing wrong with learning how to cook for a guy or a girl. That you shouldn't be eating these pre-made things at all. Even like every once in a while, but even a quick meal should be something that is made from scratch. You can do those. Not every meal takes an hour. You can make meals in like 5 minutes. Like have home cooked meal in 5 minutes. So there's no reason to be relying on Hot Pockets and all this crap. Cook, man.
Hello? You are literally making assumptions about the promiscuity of a woman that you not only haven't met yet, but who is currently, hopefully, still a minor. You're shaming an imaginary person and getting mad about it. Shall I fetch your pills, m'lady? There was a wonderful response to this trend with TikTok users recording themselves teaching their sons how to cook for much better reasons. To provide them with basic life skills so they can feed themselves and their future families, as well as destigmatizing cooking as women's work. Of course, I probably don't have to explain to you what this tangling of wires between romantic and motherly affection leads to. Viewing their sons' future partners as competition. This is bizarre.
True. True. Which is why older women don't like younger women on average. It's because they see them as competition. I even read this article where other hairdressers purposely will cut the hair of women they deem to be more beautiful than them. They will cut it real short. They will mess up their hair on purpose to make them not look as pretty, while they're lying to their face saying, "Hey, let's cut it short. It'll make you so much pretty. They'll see your face on it, yada, yada." Well, number one, men like long hair in the first place. We love longer hair on average. So why would you go cut it off? Why would you listen to somebody telling you to cut off your long, beautiful hair? It's because they see you as competition. That is crazy. Y'all women are crazy, man.
Trends where mothers post themselves lip-syncing love songs to their 8-year-old children. Alright, this is that one Olivia Rodrigo song that goes like, "She is beautiful, she is kind, she probably gives you butterflies. I know you're happy, but not." I can't. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. This is a song about how your ex never finds someone who makes them as happy as you did, which is already kind of weird. I wish I had the memory eraser from Men in Black so I could just wipe myself from the minds of all of my ex.
I wish I had that on a regular basis. I would just have no memory of anything because it's like, forget this, bro. I just need to like not remember anything. And I would use it on everybody else because you don't need to remember anything either. Bring on the neuralizers. Come on.
But to sing this song to your son, joking that you hope they are never as happy with a future partner as they are with you?
Yeah.
Yikes. Yikes, I say. How can you think this way and still claim that you love and want the best for your kid? But this isn't the only track that toxic boy moms have hopped on. Oh my god, more copyrighted music. Okay, please.
He has a girlfriend and wants to get her a Valentine's. Comes home from school with his first girlfriend.
Please don't. Wow, this is creepy. Once again,
and then you wonder why certain men are like, "I can't let you go. No, you can't break up with me. I will follow you to the ends of the earth." It's because they were raised with thinking that that's love. Their mom is so jealous of them. Anytime they talk to a girl or they get a little girlfriend, and moms are like, "Oh no, competition." Again, seeing them as competition, these little girls, and they just mess up the boy's mind so that when they're older, they think and act like their mom with this super jealous, weird style of love, this obsessive, gross type of love that's not true. It's not real love. It's a twisted version of it. And then you wonder why a bunch of men, like I said, are just kind of like skewed in the head when it comes to romantic relationships. Why so many men are simps.
Relationships as a breakup. Not only that, but if they've done their job right, their sons will also compare their wives to their mothers. Not in the developmentally normal, my parent of the opposite gender informed my expectations for that gender way, but in the my mommy used to cut the crusts off my sandwiches. Why aren't you? Way. This is also tied to
like I said, those weird ass. Give me some chicken nuggies. I'll have chicken nuggies for dinner, honey. Man, slap that dude in his head. Slap him in his mouth. Not really, but like shame that dude to talk like a man. What the hell are you doing, eating and talking like a child? You like. Baby, like adolescent, pubescent baby, like mature. Strive for maturity. Strive for more responsibility in your life. Strive for purpose and building. Number one, you'll feel a whole lot better about yourself. And number two, you will go a lot farther in life when you're thinking and living that way.
Men being socialized to think of their wives as caregivers rather than equal partners, which blurs.
It's not equal, but she is your partner. Yes, you want to treat her with love and respect. And both of you guys shouldn't be infantilizing each other. Except for the, extreme off times when you guys, it's just you two and you're just sharing this extreme love that you have for each other. Then, hey, a little bit of play or whatever, that's all right. You can talk all funny and things like that. But it's like few and far in between, man. Like, we need to be focusing on growing up and maturing, being mature. And being mature doesn't mean you have zero fun. It just means you're an adult now. You know how to have proper fun as an adult. Maturity, wow.
The lines between mommy and wife even more, which if you're an adult and you want to blur those lines with your also adult wife in the privacy of your own home?
Weird.
That's great. I just don't want to know about it.
So the future wife can't say they're going to her side for the holidays.
You're already creating a rivalry with your son's future wives in your head when these boys don't even know there's letters in math yet? Why would you take joy in the idea of isolating your future daughter-in-law from her family during the holidays and preventing your future grandchildren from seeing half of their
and if you've dealt with this as a man, raise your hand, put something in the comments. And while you're putting something in the comments, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the join button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you. God bless.
Family. But amongst the toxic TikTok boy moms, there is one who has crowned herself queen. And her reign began with this video.
I never thought that I would be that toxic boy mom. I love my four kids
Mom.
equally, but that last little boy, just hits different.
I don't like that laugh.
He hits his sisters, he punches them. I'm like, maybe he's having a hard day.
Oh, I see now what she meant by hits different. She meant
It's
his hits go unpunished. Now, how many hard days is your son allowed to have before he has to stop using...
Again, see? And we know this. You can look at the statistics for men in jail. Most of them, about 80% of them, were raised in single mother households. And you're like, well, why? Where's the correlation? There you go. There's the correlation. They allow their kids to be emotional and they don't face any consequences. There's no repercussions to their actions. So when they grow up and they don't have control over their emotions and they act out, they act violently or something, well, now you're in jail. Now you're going to jail, boy. Because you're an adult. And again, that's why we need to focus on raising our kids to be mature adults. Adults that can handle themselves emotionally. So we don't have these just crybabies out here just that flip out for any little thing. Like, we're talking about the littlest things they flip out over and cry and want to break walls and punch holes and things like that. Like, that is not okay. You need to be raising your sons with discipline and consequences.
Sisters to train
Your daughters too,
if
but
you think siblings don't notice favoritism, you've never had siblings.
one world-changing event at a time.
Cake between the 4 of us, and one of the slices was 0.5% bigger than the others, somebody ended up in a headlock. Your kids will definitely know if you have a favorite, and you're gonna raise an emotionally stunted son and very resentful daughters.
So when I think about my daughters getting married, I get excited, right? Planning their weddings. When I think about my son's wedding, I want to cry.
Oh, no.
My boy is going to be gone. I won't have access to him anymore. Like, what? Weirdo.
To a therapist about. I'm not licensed to deal with this shit. For a lot of these women, this intense and situationally inappropriate affection that they pour into their sons
Nothing wrong with
is
it.
a way of seeking fulfillment in areas that they feel that
They
their
see
male
nothing
partners
wrong
have
with
failed
it.
them. Literally raising a replacement for their boyfriend or
Yup.
husband. And if you think
And I saw this like about 2 years ago, and there was a girl that I knew. You know, she was attractive, so that's why I'm talking to her. But I just saw, like, you know, her stories. It's her and her son, and I just got that feeling, like, ugh, like why do you like? It's like he's your boyfriend or something. Like I said, going on trips together. You know, oh, look at my little man came home from school. Like, oh, here's my man doing this. My little man. Like, and so I told her, I was like, hey, it's kind of weird. You're like treating your son like your boyfriend. And of course she flipped out. Ah, blah, blah, blah. You don't know nothing. You, blah, 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 blah. Yada, yada, yada. You're just like jealous. Like, why would I be jealous of your teenage son? Like, I'm just telling you, there's icky. You know, I find you attractive and I'm trying to like get with you, but you're giving off this gross vibe, and so I'm letting you know because I'm a man, and when we care about somebody, we speak up to try to, because we're problem solvers. So I'm like, hey, this is kind of weird. Like, if I'm gonna continue pursuing you, like, I'm letting you know about this so it can stop. But of course, she didn't see anything wrong with it. Doubled down, you know, started calling me names. Of course, so I was like, all right, whatever, we'll see. And I just, you know, I'm done with you. I don't take crap from anybody, my way or the highway. So it's like, you're blocked, you know, and I don't like block people. It's just like, I'm muting your stories. I don't need to see anything about you anymore, but I'm not losing a follower. So there's a little secret too. You don't want to lose followers, just mute their stories and everything, and you won't ever see them again, but you'll still have that follower. So there you go. You know, and so I just like, nah, I'm not dealing with you. Because number one, like I said, it's gross. And number two, if you can't see it, there's no reason for me to even hang around another second. So guys, be gone. If you notice this type of behavior, you say something, if they want to double down, they don't want to change, get ghost, because it's only going to get worse from there.
that's a stretch. Just
Imagine you and your girl, you and your wife, you married her, get into an argument. She doesn't agree with you. So she calls her son to come over here and beat you up. Like, the kid you raised and spent all this money on, she's gonna call him to come and fight you because you're not agreeing with her. What kind of crap is that, bro? Like, insanity.
watch the next 2 videos. And my man, thank you to my man.
Thankful to my husband.
Thank you to my man. Thank you to my man.
Remember all the things that you and I did first, and now you're doing them with her? Remember all the things that you and I did first? You got me like this.
Boy, flipping a printer on a Friday afternoon. What the hell did I just watch? I mean, way to spell it out for us like it's a goddamn spelling bee. Now, after getting backlash for making these weird videos about her son, the creator did apologize and say that I'm just kidding. I'm inventing it more aggressively just to make people upset.
Yeah, like I said, you say something about it so you can be like, hey, I'm letting you know this is kind of weird. They double down on it. And they're like, you're not gonna tell me what's weird.
She realized she could turn this toxic boy mom behavior into
Yeah,
a
more
great
likes,
farm.
more
She
validation,
tilled
get more
that soil
famous,
until she got a
infamous.
nice crop of views and angry comments. When it comes to toxic boy moms,
And then because a lot of the comments are like against her, all she has to do is say, "Oh no, you guys are just hateful and bigoted, and you guys are misogynist, yada yada. You're a phobe, blah blah blah." Now she can just shoot out all the buzzwords because people are like ganging up on her, but we're doing it for a real good reason. Like social shame works, and you can't make laws about this because then that'd be a dictatorship. But it's like we need to let people know when it's gross en masse, and that's what we're doing. But they've created a way around it by just calling you a hater, a phobe, and words like that, so that they don't have to change their behaviors. And again, that's why we're in an upside down world. Women can do no wrong.
weird jokes and possessive behaviors don't magically go away when their sons grow up. You see, the monster mother-in-law is the final form of the toxic boy
Final
mom
boss.
evolution, the final boss stage.
You
so
know,
to speak.
ending your son's relationships, one at a time. You know, good woman comes in, good woman goes out because of the mean mother. You know, always talking crap, never good enough, never happy with her, always in competition with her, always trying to undermine her behind her back. You know, those things aren't good for relationships. And men sitting there listening to their mommies like, mommy, okay, I'll do what you say, against your potential future wife. Like, stupid, no. You can't be simping. Don't be a simp for your mother or for your wife. For no woman. Do not simp for any woman. It doesn't do them any good, and it only hurts you as a man. So if you're a simp, which you probably are, start working on just becoming more masculine. And there's ways you can go watch videos about these things. Or, just see how women act and act the opposite. There you go. Everything in my house.
And unfortunately, that's probably the only flavorful meal that anyone's ever eaten at your house, Kathy. That's why no one touched your beige-colored casserole at the church potluck last Wednesday.
Did you see that?
Careful yanking your hair like that before you get in this hypothetical altercation with your daughter-in-law. You might want to preserve what's left. All jokes aside, the toxic boy mom parenting style leads to very severe consequences.
Yes.
Mothers that have emotionally I can't say that word, so I'm just gonna say swiping right at the family function relationship with their sons and put them on a pedestal, create men who are emotionally immature, entitled, and who will end up being lazy, if not outright abusive partners.
He hits his sisters. He punches them.
I think what's so tragic about the toxic boy mom is that there's really only...
And you guys will complain and complain about it, but you won't do anything to fix it when we're giving you guys the facts right in front of your face. You'll just sweep it under the table, and when it's a problem, when they're older, you'll just be like, men bad, men bad, men bad. Instead of being like, here's the root of the problem, and it was women.
Two endings for her. Option one, she poisons all of her son's romantic relationships. Or option two, he sets boundaries with her and starts cutting her out of his life. But we're not done yet. Don't worry. I've saved the worst for last. She made a sweaty thirst trap for her son.
Hey, shout out to the creator. Go check her out. I like this video. It's pretty good. Like I said, I didn't watch it, so I myself, it was the first time seeing it, and I was pretty good of how it turned out. I'm glad. I like the message. And so you guys know me. I'm going to end this video with a way to build and earn men, because that's how we get better. That's how we change society. We were meant to do it. We were built to build. We need to build. We need to create. We need to be solving problems. Those things are what men are great at, and that's what brings fulfillment into our life. So here's a side hustle video. You know, so you guys can go earn some money. Go earn, create your world, create your business, you know, build as a man, and it will only
These are the top
make
three
you
side hustles
better.
You can start today and make $500.
So this says top 3, but he's only going to go into one. You can, I'll link the videos in the description, and you can go check out the full video. But this is going to get into one, and I thought it was pretty good, so that's why I want to give it to you. Here we go.
With little to no experience, starting with the easiest side hustle, where you can be legally blind but still make money.
Garage sales. Everybody's too fucking slow these days.
First, go to your local
Garage
Facebook page or
sales, yes,
Craigslist
sir.
and search through the free section. Most people don't feel like dealing with items, so sometimes you can find crazy deals like free.
Yeah. Exercise equipment, barbecue equipment, electronics, furniture, like it's all good. It's all good. You might have to put in some elbow grease, but getting something for free that you could turn around and sell for $80, like what's a little elbow grease? What's a couch that you can sell for like $100 that you got for free? You know what I'm saying? And you're giving people deals. You clean it up. It's really worth $200. Why not just sell it for $100? You got $100 in your pocket. Boom. I actually gave somebody this advice yesterday, which is why I thought this was a good video, because I told them, you know, I've seen videos. People go to yard sales. They'll buy, you know, a lantern for, say, $2, $3, clean it up, and it's worth $80. You can sell it for $30, you know. And do that multiple times. Do that on a regular basis. Now you got an income flowing in where you don't have to, like, get a second job and be gone. You know, this side hustle can be done while you're still, you know, at home and taking care of things at home, but you're putting things up online, which I think is one of the best ways to earn a side hustle without giving up a bunch of your time. It's to sell things online, sell things in front of your house. I have a table set up in front of my house where I sell sago palms. I got electronics. I got snow cones, because I'm going to be making money while I'm at home. Why not? It's only a couple minutes. Go make a couple snow cones. I got $20. Hey, somebody comes and they want this, the little drone, $20. I made $60 in 2 days this weekend. Just a little setup in front of my house. Easy peasy. You know, go get things that you know people are going to buy. Lotion, detergent, kids' toys. Set up a little table. Sell the crap. You know, side hustle. It means you have to do something extra. But if you don't want to put a whole bunch of extra time into it, sell things online. Sell things in front of your house. Sell things on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, all that good stuff, man.
Couches or seasonal products in the off season, like a free grill in the winter. So just in 30 seconds, I found a free grill, and eBay says it's worth about $200. So I'm gonna go pick it up. How's it look? I'm blind. Spotless. So all I would do is clean it up a little bit to make it look a little more presentable, and then
little
relist
elbow
it
grease
on Facebook Marketplace.
Boom. And you can get 100%, 1,000% money back. You know, making $1 off of that is something, because he got it for free. So making $5, $10, $20, $30, $50, $80, $100. It's going to take some work, but it is very simple. So you can get on it. You can do it. You can get out of any debt, or you can start saving money to move on to buy a house or things like that. So it is very possible, especially in America. I'm going to keep saying it until I am blue in the face. But if you're broke in America, it's your fault. Take advantage of all the opportunities that they have here in America for you to do, because there's no other country like it. You can make it here as long as you put in that extra little bit of work. All right, y'all. So that was today's video. Thank you, everybody, for checking me out. What do you think about my takes on the videos? What are your takes on the videos? Again, leave something in the comments, and press the like button, the join button, the subscribe button, the share button. I thank all of you guys for checking me out. God bless you, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. God bless.